Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss in detail about the next operators. And before that, just I wanted to show a few information about Java out of bound, what we are discussing for past 3 days. And I'll just take you to that particular presentation. I'll share the screen to you. Okay, and just observe. I'll take one notepad and just I'll type one program. It's a class, some new name will give BB, and then big static void main and string name variable name you give, and then inside that just I'm printing system dot out println. I am Java, something like that. You print and see, as a rule, we are defining that class name should be same as bb.java, but I'll save this with different name. Okay, in D drive, I'll save this with the name. I'll give jk.java. Because the file name is actually class bb, okay, and file name what I have given is jk.java. So what I will do now, I wanted to compile this. Open cmd, so the command prompt will open. I already installed Java, so I'll go to D drive. Just edit the size. I think it is visible. Okay. Now, I think what I'll do is I saved that as jk.java. So I'll compile Java C jk.java. Okay. After compiling this, what happens? Class file will be generated. If you see, just I'll show you directly in that dot class. Just say all the class files. See this? It says class file will be generated. But if you observe these class files, there is no jk.class because we are not having any class with the name jk. Okay, but if you observe, see the program is bb, is it not? So when you compile this, you have created bb.class. A bb.class file is generated, and now if you give Java and jk, it will unable to identify where is the main. So you will get that could not find any main with jk. So if you give jk bb, it will work on Java. Okay. Now this is one thing, and another thing what one of your friend did, that also I'll show you. Java C, what she did is Java C and jk.java she compiled, and after that Java jk.java, like this itself she executed the program. Okay, and she is getting the output. I'm Java. Okay, that's what she did. Now see, in the same case, if we are having one more class some nn, okay, like that, in the same file we are having two class nn, class pb. Remember the word, you have to save with the same name where main resides, like that I defined. Okay, when two classes are there, you can't instead of saving with different name, always save with the name where main resides. That's what the definition, what we defined. Okay. Anyway, I'll just save this. Even though two different classes, this file name is jk itself. Now, just once again, we'll repeat the process what she did. That itself. Java C jk.java. Okay, it will compile. Now, to execute Java jk.java. See, it's not possible to execute because it is searching where is the main. I know that main is residing in BB, is it not? See, if I give Java BB, it will execute the same program. It will execute. Okay, so that is what the definition. Okay, please remember. Even though one more advanced thing I'll show you today. Okay, this is what actually the concept. Java is compiled. When it compiles, it generates the class file. See, once again, now I'll show you. We'll see how many class files now generated. See, it generated two class files. Which one? nn.class, bb.class. Okay, and interpreter will search where is the main that class. Okay, so it will execute like that. That is what the rule. Now, see, I'll take a different name itself. Exec. Now, one more example I'll show you. Class X. I'll save this with some other name. Okay, we'll take instead of JK from Java. Like that, I will save this file. This file name is SRK, class is XX. See, in the latest Java edition, please listen carefully. Latest, that is JDK 11, they introduced the concept. Okay, it is not necessary to compile. Directly I'll execute. See, observe Java, because I not compiled so far. Okay, Java file name is SRK, is it not? SRK.java. I not compiled Java C SRK.java. Directly I'll execute Java SRK.java. I'll get the output. Okay, that is what introduced in the latest version. Okay, runtime you can do that. Here also the same problem, like one more class if I write. Okay, one more class if I write, that is class some VQ something, any name you can give. Okay, two classes, and is it possible to execute the same program? Here also that problem. Okay, because only one class with the main, it will execute in the latest version also. Please remember. Okay, this is for your understanding how class file will be generated and how that will be executed. And because what is available in the textbook, that itself not sufficient to learn the languages. Okay, for that purpose I showed all this particular information. Okay, you please learn these extra things, even though for the examination it may not required, but as a Java learner you should know all these things. Okay, because complete reference has written around some 4-5 years long back. Okay, so what is updated now, they may not be incorporated in the textbook, so you should know these information. Okay, and another thing what we discussed in the last class is see the same program, just I'll write anyway, I'll continue with this itself. See, what I asked is you have to display what is given. That is test is scheduled some date. Okay, So just I wanted to get the output. See, always you please remember, command line argument means what you are passing to the main. Okay, this argument, this is called argument. So through command line, you are passing the argument. That means if I see, I'll just print what is in AR of 1. Okay. Just I'll save this file, and after that I'll go to the command prompt. This is SRK, I think, is it not? Anyway, I'll come to srk.java, and after that Java XX, is it not? See, command line argument means I'll pass here test is scheduled on 31/05/21. Okay. See, I am printing A of 1. So A of 1 means what it will you will get. See, is coming. That means A of 0 means what? That we'll see. A of 0 means you have to compile, okay, because whatever the modification you have done later, you have to compile that. See, you are getting test. That means A of 0 is test. I wanted to print all. If you wanted to print all means use the for loop. Okay, I is equal to 0. I is less than. You should know how many arguments you are passing. For that purpose, you should know that array's length. Okay, you just write ar dot length and I plus plus and ar of I. Okay, so if you execute once again, I'll compile this program. I'll compile this program and I'll pass the same schedule. See, all the values test is schedule is coming. So my interest is just to display first and last. So I'll just comment. I'll give 0th location. That is what test 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus give some gap, and after that you pass with AR of 4. Save. Once again you compile with test and that date. This is how handle command line arguments. Okay, so please remember, this is also one technique. Earlier we are not having scanner and all. You have to pass through the command line and then you have to process. That is what the procedure. And same thing if you are doing in Eclipse means what you have to do is just one simple example. Just I will show you. Anyway, same program. I'll copy here itself. I'll just copy this. Anyway, I already opened Eclipse and just I'll paste for loop and here printing this. So here it is written arcs. That's why red line is showing it unable to identify. Now I corrected. Okay. See this here how to pass the command line. So confusion for most of your friends. So what you have to do is go to run. There run configuration. If you press run configuration, you will get so many different attributes here. Press argument. There program arguments. So just write test is scheduled on 31/05/2021. Okay. Now you run. See, the value is coming and I return inside the loop. That's why it is coming 4 times. Okay, now I am not displaying all the values. Okay, just I am displaying uh, that particular location value, that is a of 0 and a of 4 I am printing. Okay, so this is what regarding command line arguments and how to understand class file as well as our JVM. Hope you understood. So whatever doubts you are having, already you are many of you are communicating. Okay. Anyway, I am happy that all of you are asking few doubts and clarify your doubts. Okay. Anyway, I will move to today's topic. We are continuing with operators. Is it visible? You just type S. Whether presentation is visible? Is it visible? That's what my question. Okay. Thank you. Be interactive. Okay, if you are interactive means it is not necessary to put the attendance itself. Already it will be recorded. Anyway, I'll be with our presentation. We are discussing operators. Today we are discussing very important operators. It is important even for your examination. Okay. And this is what we are discussing. We already come across with binary, unary not, and bitwise and, bitwise or, and bitwise exclusive or. Okay. Today we will move to shift operators. Okay. After discussing this, the first one, left shift. What is left shift? See this. This is what left shift. Left side you are shifting the bits. Okay. So that is what the idea. Okay. How to represent that? Value, left shift operator, number. Okay. If you write 2 times less than symbol, it is what left shift. Okay. And this is sample. Just I'll show you. See, you are declaring int a is equal to 25. And after that, you are shifting that twice. See, shifting twice. According to the number what you represented here, okay, how many times you have to shift, that you will decide. Okay, if you write 1 means 1 time it will shift, 2 means 2 times it will shift. So that means higher order bit is shifted out and 0 is brought in on the right. Anyway, I'll show you the example. Okay, whenever you are shifting left, that means see, if we are having some number like this, okay, once it is shifted, that means this position will come to this, that is 1 0. 0 will move to this, which will come at this position. 0 will be filled at this position. Okay, that is what the meaning what we written here. 0 is brought into the right. Now, each shift affect the doubling the original value. See how doubling, see first this, once again if I shift means 1 will come to this position, 0 will be filled. See, earlier it was 2, now it is 4. That means it is doubling. Earlier, first it was 1. After one shift, it becomes 2. After second shift, it becomes 4. So that is what, here what happens. See, if your value is 25, after one shift, it becomes 50. After two shifts, it becomes 100. Okay. So that is what always shifting makes the double. See the example, how left shift takes place. See 25. 25 is represented in binary. That's why it is bitwise operator. We are discussing left shift also inside binary operator. Okay. 25 you represent in bits. Okay. As don't confuse. Okay. Like if you, okay. So this is what 2 3s are 0, 2 1s are 2 1. So 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1, and anyway it is a normal tendency to represent in 8 bits. Okay, and after that you shift twice. Shift twice means this will come to this location in first shift. Okay, two shift means two zeros will be filled and it will be shifted. Okay, see how the shifting takes place. So what is the value of this? Okay, if you collect these values, it is nothing but 100. That's what left shift. Now new things you learn from this. What are that? See, whenever you are doing left shift, it is applied to int bits are last, because when left shift is applied to int, okay, bits are last once they are shifted past bit position 31. See, you know that length of integer is 32 bits. Okay, 32 bits means here if it 25 means it is 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 and then 1 1 0 0 1. That's what 32 bits will be there. Okay, and uh, when you are applying to this, okay, if you are shifting up to where you can shift maximum 31, and after that it will generate some negative number, because they are shifted past bit position up to 31. And next, if long, then bits are lost after bit position 63. Okay, because bit position uh, here up to this 0, higher order bit becomes negative, means it will turn into negative number. Okay, please remember. Okay, bits are lost once they are shifted. Bits are lost when after bit position 31 in case of int, and in case of long after bit position 63. Okay, the bits will last. Now, what about other? So please remember, outcome of a left shift on a byte or short value will be an int. Okay, whenever you are applying any shift operator on byte type, okay, it is automatically turned into integer, because you know that any evaluation if you perform on byte type, okay, it immediately transfer that into integer type. Later you have to typecast. Now we'll see one example of our left shift. See, it may come to your theory also. Okay, you have to explain left shift operator, and you tell it is left shift and tell the syntax and take the example, and you remember these points. See, example, we'll take one byte A 64. Okay, when you're considering 64, 64 means how to represent. Okay, if you um, remember 64, always, okay, you please make the convention so that 1 2 4 8 16 32 64 128, okay, 256. This is for the convention. Okay, 64 means 1 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, please remember 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 bits, because we are dealing with byte. You know that byte means 8 bits. Okay, so this A is equal to 64 means this. Okay, now I will declare one integer type variable, and I will make shift twice. I'll make this shift twice. So one shift, uh, one will come to this position. Okay, and first shift. Second shift, one will come to this position. Okay, please remember 8 bits per byte. Okay, now I am assigning this to integer type. Okay, because integer I. Then what happens if I print I? That I'll see first. Okay, see this value of I. What is value of I? Value of I is, see, I means I assign this value, and I is 32 bit, is it not? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, ninth bit is set, is it not? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, ninth bit. Ninth bit means you will get the output 256. Okay, because you catch that to the integer type. And our next question, observe this, I am shifted, okay, and I'll convert that to byte and assigning that to byte type variable. That means this one, you are converting to byte type. Byte means it is only 8 bits, and this one you are assigning to B. Okay, then what is the output of B? Okay, output of B is 0. Okay, because it is 0. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 8 all are 0, so the value is 0 itself. Okay, so this is what about left shift. Okay, is it clear? This is how to handle left shift. Left shift will make the loss. Okay, and when you are performing with the left shift, this is what how it takes place. Is it clear? Okay, now after learning this, we will move to right shift. When what is the meaning of left shift? Okay, left shift means what? Division or doubling, that you just type. Left shift means doubling or division. Okay, left shift means it is doubling. Okay, it always double the value. Very good. Next, we'll see the right shift. So right shift is this symbol and value, and the syntax is this. Let us take example int a is equal to 32 and we'll make shift twice. So here what happens, higher order bit is shifted out and 0 is brought into the right. That means if you give 110, means one shift means it will fill 0 to the higher order. Okay, it will move like this and 0 will be filled. Not only 0, what is in the higher order that will be filled. Okay, that is very important. I'll show you the example. Okay, now each shift divides the original value by 2. See, right shift is nothing but divide. Okay, it divides by 2 and discards remainder. What is the meaning of this? See this. Let us consider 32, and now I think you learned how to represent 32. If you see our previous example, there I written after 16 32. So fifth position. After fifth position, that is sixth position. So this is what representation of 32, 0 0 0 and 0. I'll shift twice. Shift twice means these two zeros will loss. So 1000 will come. So you know that this is nothing but 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. Is it not 8 bit is set? So the value is 8. Now you take the value, answer is 8. Here you take 35. 35 I written. You shift right twice. Here also these two will loss. You will get 100. It is also 8. So this is what the meaning of this. Okay, that is it discards any remainder. So 32, for if you apply on 32 you will get 8. If you apply on 35 then also you will get 8 itself. Okay, so that's how about right shift. Now we will take one negative number, -8. See, negative number means how to represent. See, please remember all higher order bits will be 1. See, 8. 8 means 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0, and -8 means all bits are 1, then 1 0 0 0. This is 8 and this indicates minus. Okay, after one shift what happens? A shifted once, so this will be discarded. Then what is filled in the higher order? Higher order 1 is filled. Then what is the meaning of this? It is -4. So you know that 8 divided by 2, 4. After one shift. Okay, each shift will divide that into 2. Because here you know 32 is divided by 2 first shift, 16. Divide by 2 in the second shift, you'll get 8. 35 first division is 16 itself because remainder is last. 16 divided by 2 in the next shift, 8. Okay, so here -8 divided by 2 in the first shift, it is -4. So it preserves. Okay, so how to understand? When shifting previous contents of the top bit, It is sign extension. Okay, what is in the higher bit, that itself shifted. If it is 0, 0, 0, 0 will be shifted to the right. If it is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 will be shifted to the right to preserve the sign. Okay, that is what important. So shifting right minus 1. Okay, if you are shifting minus 1 means what happens? Like if I write minus 1, a is equal to minus 1. A is equal to minus 1, how to represent? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 32 ones. Okay. After shifting, what happens? 1, 1, 1, 1 only. Is it not? It's always minus 1. So please remember that. So it is easy to understand. Very important. Next one is unsigned right shift. Very important topic, and this with respect to examination. Okay, unsigned right shift. We know right shift, and we learned right shift how it works. Okay, right shift we know how it works. Okay, it works if it is 0, 0, 0 means it will preserve 0 itself. If it is 1, 1, 1, it will preserve 1, 1 itself in the higher order. That means sign will be preserved. But you know that in most of the applications, okay, that means when you are working with that numbers, okay, it is fine. Your sign should be there when you are dividing. But if you are not interested in sign, okay, even though it is a negative number, like when you are reading the pixel, it is negative number, but when you are shifting that, you are not interested about the sign. Then what you are interested? You are interested just to shift this number. Don't worry about this sign. In such cases, okay, it is important to learn unsigned right shift, especially in Java. How to represent unsigned right shift? This is what the symbol. One more symbol is added to our right shift. Okay, that's one more. So this is what the syntax. See, let us consider a equals minus 1. So a equals minus 1. How to represent minus 1? You just write 32 bits. Okay, and 32 bits you will write. I'll show you the example. Let us consider a equals minus 1. So 32 1, because it is minus 1, is it not? So it is 1 and all higher bits are 1. Now you right shift 24 times. See, normally a is equal to 24. If you do, that means just a right shift means what happens, 1 will be filled at this higher order bit. But I am doing this operation, that is unsigned right shift. Unsigned right shift, that means 24 bits of 0. That means shift 24 times. That's what we written. Okay, so each shift will insert, discard the number, and 0 will be filled. Like that, 24 zeros will be filled after doing 24-bit right shift. Okay, unsigned right shift. So you will get this. What is the meaning of this? This value is nothing but if all are 1. If you add all these values, you will get 255. Okay, so that is what the meaning of that. And see, this is what you are getting. See, minus 1 you are shifting. Always it comes with the sign case. Sign number, when you are shifting, you fill the 0. That's why it's called right shift with 0 fill. Okay, because when this particular right shift preserves the sign, but unsigned right shift will not. That's what the difference. In some application, if it is required, if you are not interested to preserve the sign, you can use unsigned right shift. So please remember, it is meaningful for to use with 32 or the 64-bit values. It will not do any effect on bytes. Okay, if you are shifting bytes, what happens? It will not take that, because when you are operating that, automatically it will turn into integer type. Is it not? So integer it works. Okay, so that's what unsigned right shift. Okay, just one question. Just I'll type here. Just observe, and you tell me the output, because it is to show that bitwise operator works like how we written a plus is equal to 1, like that. That means it is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1. Is it not? Like that, you can write Anyway, I'll declare three variables. Int is equal to 1, int b is equal to, you please work out and tell me the answer immediately. C is equal to 3. So first operation what I am performing is A, that is A equal to 4. Okay, and then B is equal to 1. B is equal to 1. Okay, and after that what I'll do is I'll make C is equal to left shift 1 and A is equal to C. Okay, and system dot out dot print A value, B value, C value. Okay, you tell me the answer. What is the value of A? What is the value of A? See this? What is the meaning of this? The meaning is A is equal to A R with 4. Okay, the value of A is 1. Okay, that is 0, 0, 1. Value of 4 is 1, 0, 0. So what is the value of A? A becomes 1, 0, 1. Okay, at this place it is 1, 0, 1. But after that it will operate with S. Okay, operate with C. Next, anyway, anybody solved? Okay, I will move to B. The meaning of this is B is equal to B right shift 1. Okay, so B is 2, is it not? 0, 0, 1, 0. After one shift, what it is B? B becomes 0, 0, 1. Okay, and then C is right shift. What is the value of C? C is equal to 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, right shift means 0, 1, 1, 0. That means once you just shift, is nothing but C right shift 1. Then C value is this, is it not? Okay, finally A becomes A exclusive OR with C. So A is already 101. Okay, and it is C is 110. It becomes 101, 011, 110. So A becomes 011. Okay, that means the value of A is 3. Okay, value of A is 3. B is 1 because B is after shifting it is 1. Okay, it is 1 and value of C is 110 means 6. Okay, so sometimes you may get see this type of questions, evaluate and give the answer. Okay, the why I showed this means because the value what we are discussing here is this. See, this is what bitwise and bitwise R assignment. Okay, bitwise exclusive R assignment, right shift assignment, right shift zero fill assignment, left assignment, shift left assignment, like that. Okay, how we did in plus minus, that also holds good for these bitwise operators. Okay, that's why we discuss this. And then relational operator, will conclude today's session with this. Relational operator, you know, equals. If you write double equals, not equals, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, these are called relational operators. So importance of relational operator in Java is it always, the outcome of this is Boolean value. What is the meaning? See, you can't write any int d is equal to if d or if d. These things are not valid in Java. It holds good perfectly in C. Okay, but in Java it is not, because Java always you have to write like this. If you write anything, okay, if d is equal to 0, if d is equal to or not equal to, okay, like that you have to mention. Okay, that means it returns true or false. Okay, it returns true or false. That's why it is very important. Okay, because normally in I actually I showed this long back, like if I write 1, it is perfectly valid in C, but in Java it is not valid. You have to write if true, boolean value it will return. Very important, you please remember. Relational operator like double equals, less than equals, greater than equals, not equal, okay, it always returns boolean value. Okay, see, int a is equal to 2, b is equal to 4, and when I am comparing a and b, okay, it will be assigned to boolean type because it returns true or false. So that's what we learned today. Different operators, examples, relational operators. Thank you. For more details, we'll discuss in next class. Okay. As far as possible, today I'll share our module 1, what to study for the exam. Okay. Thank you. You can log out.